My name is Natalie Nelson. I'm an assistant professor within the Biological and Agricultural Engineering Department at NC State. So my lab is the Biosystems Analytics Lab, and within my group we're pursuing questions related to natural resources management, but we're pursuing those questions through the analysis of large data sets. So in particular we're using data analytics and integrated models to try and extract useful information from big data to see what types of patterns we can use to then inform our decision making. So my PhD student, Lise Montefiore, she's working on a project to evaluate estuarine vulnerability across the South Atlantic and Gulf Coast.
I want to study different stressors which can impact the water quality of these estuaries. So it includes different stressors such as natural stressors or anthropogenic stressors. So for the moment I'm looking at different data sets such as projected land use, the population projection in the estuarine watershed, and also to different climatic data sets such as precipitation, temperature, and also to sea level rise. Extremely important for local economies because most of the fish, for example, which are landed in this area or in the coast come from estuaries. Growing populations and the climate change, some parameters can change, and so it's interesting to evaluate which estuaries could be at risk now in the future, so that policymakers can take some decisions.
My name is Sam Blackman. I'm studying biological engineering with a concentration in environmental engineering and hopefully agricultural engineering. I'm using data from the National Estuarine Reserve System, which is administered by NOAA, and I'm looking at temporal data sets from estuaries all across the United States. I'm looking at seasonal characteristics of the estuaries, so like DO, turbidity, pH, to do a statistical analysis of the estuaries.
Tools within data science, they include methods like statistical models and machine learning algorithms, and the tools aren't specific to a discipline. So these various methods lend themselves well to collaboration because they can be applied to all sorts of different topics. So here at NC State, I'm using these tools within my own program to study issues related to land-sea connectivity, so identifying how inland management practices can ultimately lead to coastal consequences like changes in water quality. But these same methods can be used in other settings, so I'm working with people who are evaluating how environmental conditions in poultry houses might influence the productivity of poultry. And we're also using these methods to look at, for example, changes in swine barn distributions across eastern North Carolina over time. In that particular case, evaluating satellite data. And also looking at sweet potatoes, so seeing to what extent can you identify from differences in shapes of sweet potatoes what the different field management practices may have been or what the different varieties were that went into the sweet potatoes. And so these are projects that other people are leading that I can contribute to through the use of these methods.